Jew. Wake up every morning, follow the same routine, worry about the same problems, and tell yourself this is just how life is. But what if I told you that most people are not living freely at all? What if the real prison has no walls, no guards, and no locks yet? Millions never escape it because they don't even know they are inside it. This story will change how you see your life, your choices, and the invisible cage around you. Before we go further, if stories like this make you think deeper about life and reality, please like this video and subscribe to MindShift Tales. It really helps the channel grow and brings more powerful stories like this to you. Now, let me tell you a story from a small village that might feel uncomfortably familiar. In a quiet village near the border of Punjab, where the air smelled of soil and fresh rotis, lived a woman named Amina. The village was surrounded by fields of wheat, and generations of families had lived there without ever moving more than a few miles away. Amina was in her early 30s, married, with 2 children. And every day of her life looked almost exactly like the one before. She woke up before sunrise, fetched water, cooked, cleaned, worked in the fields during harvest season, and slept with tired bones and a tired mind. People often said Amina was lucky. She had a roof, food, children, and a husband who was not cruel. But deep inside, she felt something she could never explain. A quiet heaviness, a feeling that her life was shrinking instead of expanding. She had dreams once. As a child, she loved listening to radio programs and imagined herself telling stories, traveling, learning new things. But those dreams were slowly buried under the words she heard every day. This is how life is. Be thankful. Don't think too much. In the same village lived an old man named Rahim. He was known as someone strange. He had lived in the city once and returned after many years. People said he talked too much and thought too deeply. Children liked him because he told stories. Adults avoided him because he asked uncomfortable questions. One evening, after a long day, Amina sat outside her house, watching the sky turn orange. Rahim passed by and stopped when he saw her staring into the distance. He smiled gently and asked, "What are you looking at?" Amina replied without thinking, "I don't know. Maybe something beyond this village." Rahim sat down slowly and said, "Do you know most prisons don't look like prisons?" Amina laughed lightly. "We're not prisoners. We're free." Rahim picked up a handful of dust and let it fall through his fingers. "The strongest prison is the one you don't know you're living in." That sentence stayed with Amina like an echo. That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about her life. She had never chosen it. It had been chosen for her by tradition, fear, expectations, and silence. No one had forced her with chains, yet she had never questioned the path. Days later, she found herself visiting Rahim again. She asked him what he meant. Rahim told her stories about people who lived their entire lives believing limits that were never real. "We are trained," he said, "to obey invisible rules. Don't dream too big, don't ask why, don't try something new, and we call it safety." He explained that fear was the prison guard. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of disappointing others. Most people never escape, Rahim said softly, because they decorate their prison and call it home. Amina began noticing things she had never seen before. The way villagers repeated the same complaints every year but never changed anything. The way children were taught what to think, not how to think. The way everyone blamed fate but never questioned choices. Slowly, she started changing small things. She began listening to educational programs on the radio again. She saved small amounts of money secretly. She taught her daughter to ask questions, even when others frowned. These were tiny acts, but they felt dangerous, like pushing against invisible walls. People noticed. They said Amina was becoming too modern, too ambitious. The words hurt, but she remembered Rahima's voice. A prison always punishes those who try to escape. One day Rahim fell sick. Amina visited him. He was weak but smiling. "You've already unlocked the door," he told her. "Now don't turn back." Months later, with courage she never knew she had, Amina applied for a small teaching program in a nearby town. 'Twasn't easy. She faced resistance from family, neighbors, even her own doubts, but she went anyway. For the first time, her life felt larger than fear. Rahim passed away soon after. The village mourned him briefly, then returned to routine. But Amina didn't. She carried his words like a torch. Tears. When she returned to the village as a teacher, children gathered around her, curious and excited. She told them stories, not just lessons from books, but stories about thinking freely, questioning gently, and dreaming bravely. The village hadn't changed much, but Amina had. And through her, small cracks began to appear in the invisible prison around others. If this story made you pause and reflect, I want to ask you something. What invisible rules are shaping your life right now? What fears are quietly deciding your future? If you felt something while listening, please comment below. Share this story with someone who might be living in a prison they don't even see. And don't forget to like and subscribe to MindShift Tales. Because sometimes, one story is all it takes to unlock a door you didn't know existed. Your freedom may begin with a single thought.